There is no great genius without some touch of madness, and perhaps no greater madness than thinking, what's the worst that could happen if I touch it? Well, for the 15 cursed objects on this list, the answer is a lot. From the haunted wedding dress to the crying boy painting, these are the objects that have brought nothing but bad luck and tragedy to those who dared to touch them. So, let's take a look at these creepy cursed objects and the dark stories behind them. Number 15. Blarney Stone. For hundreds of years, the Blarney Stone, a large piece of limestone, has resided in Blarney Castle in County Cork, Ireland. Legend has it that if a visitor kisses the stone, they'll be granted the gift of the gab, making them smooth talkers who can charm their way out of anything. But here's the kicker. Get greedy and take a piece of the stone home, and you'll be cursed with relentless misfortune until it's returned. No one knows if the curse comes with a side of poetic irony, but plenty of regretful tourists have found out the hard way. The castle reportedly receives yearly packages containing pieces of the stone with apology notes attached. Apparently, there's nothing like bad luck to make you reconsider your choices. If you're tempted, just remember, a selfie with the stone is a lot less likely to ruin your life. Number 14. Robert the Doll. Every creepy doll story owes a little something to Robert the Doll. In the early 1900s, young Jean Otto received Robert as a gift, most likely from his grandfather, or, according to some, a vengeful servant. Jean adored the life-sized doll, treating it like a confidant. But things quickly took a sinister turn. Neighbors reported seeing Robert move on his own. Jean's parents often overheard chilling conversations in his room, voices they swore weren't Jean's. Things would break, objects would disappear, and Jean always blamed Robert. Over a century later, Robert now resides in a museum in Key West, Florida, where visitors must follow a strict code of conduct. You're advised to greet him politely, ask his permission before snapping photos, and never, ever mock him. Those who fail to show respect report car accidents, broken limbs, and all manner of bad luck. A simple solution? Don't meet Robert. He's not exactly the forgiving type. Number 13. Little Bastard. James Dean's Porsche 550 Spider, goodly nicknamed Little Bastard, became an infamous sign of tragedy after the actor's untimely death in 1955. Dean crashed the car in a fatal accident, but the story didn't end there. The car's wreckage was salvaged, and its parts found their way into other vehicles. That's when the real nightmare began. Vehicles fitted with Little Bastard's parts were involved in horrific crashes, many of them fatal. One thief who attempted to steal the car's steering wheel reportedly broke his arm in a freak accident. Even spectators at exhibitions where the wreckage was displayed experienced strange misfortunes. Actor Alec Guinness eerily warned Dean about the car, claiming it gave off an aura of doom. A week later, Dean was dead. Whether you believe in curses or not, but please, guys, don't touch this little bastard. We love you. Now, it's clear why they have chosen this freaking name for this love of the love car. Number 12. The Hands Resist Him. Painting. There's Unsettling, and then there's The Hands Resist Him. Painted in 1972 by Bill Stoneham, it depicts a boy and a doll standing in front of a glass door, behind which disembodied hands press ominously. Stoneham might have intended this as a surreal homage to his childhood, but the painting has taken on a far darker reputation. Its notoriety skyrocketed in 2000 when it appeared on eBay with claims that it was haunted. The sellers reported that the figures in the painting would move at night and sometimes disappear entirely. Others said the boy and the doll would swap places. People who simply viewed the image online complained of nausea, paranoia, and strange nightmares. Stoneham later revealed that several people associated with the painting had died under strange circumstances, adding to its eerie legacy. Whether it's truly haunted or just a stuff of dream, one thing's for sure, this isn't the kind of art you'd hang in the family room. Number 11. Chair of Death. Most chairs are designed for comfort, but this one is infamous for something far worse. Known as the Chair of Death, it's tied to the story of Thomas Busby, a man executed in 1702 after murdering his father-in-law. On his way to the gallows, Busby cursed his favorite chair, vowing that anyone who sat in it would meet an untimely death. For centuries, the chair seemed to live up to its curse. During World War II, soldiers who sat in it never returned from combat. Others who tested it reported strange sensations like dizziness and paranoia, only to suffer fatal accidents shortly after. Eventually, the chair was donated to a museum and hung from the ceiling to prevent any more victims. It may look harmless, but its track record says otherwise. If you ever come across an antique chair with a dark history, standing is probably the safer option. Number 10. Maori warrior masks. When it comes to cursed objects, New Zealand doesn't mess around. Maori warrior masks, crafted with stunning artistry, are said to bring misfortune, but only to certain people, specifically women. Legend has it that women who come near these masks risk miscarriages, pregnancy complications, and other dire outcomes. Men? They're totally fine. Why the masks target women is anyone's guess, though some attribute it to spiritual beliefs tied to the tapu, sacredness, of these objects. Museums in New Zealand often display warnings next to the masks, politely suggesting pregnant women steer clear. Whether you believe in curses or not, one thing's for sure: these masks don't care about your skepticism. They're just waiting for the next skeptic to test their luck. Number 9. The haunted wedding dress. Weddings are supposed to be joyous, but for Anna Baker, her dream wedding was crushed by her bad daddy. Forbidden from marrying the love of her life, Anna spent the rest of her days in bitterness. She died in 1914, leaving behind a wedding dress she never got to wear, a dress now steeped in heartbreak and rumors of a curse. The dress resides in a glass case at the Baker Mansion Museum in Pennsylvania. On full moon nights, visitors report seeing it tremble violently, as if Anna herself is still fighting against her father's cruel decision. Some even claim to hear faint sobbing echoing through the halls. Is it the result of a broken spirit lingering too long, or just the stuff of overactive imaginations? Either way, one thing's certain: Anna's dress serves as a stark reminder that some dreams, once shattered, refuse to fade quietly into history. Number 8. Hope Diamond. A diamond the size of a walnut sounds pretty spectacular, until you realize most of its owners met untimely, tragic deaths. The Hope Diamond's origin story is as glittery as it is grim. Most versions trace it back to India, where it was allegedly stolen from a sacred statue. Its first European owner, King Louis XIV, probably thought it was a sparkling investment, until it started leaving a trail of disease, wolf attacks, and revolutions in its wake. Later passed through the Hope family and various other wealthy but short-lived hands, the diamond now resides in the National Museum of Natural History, where it can't hurt anyone, hopefully. If you're admiring it up close, just don't press your luck. After all, the only thing worse than a curse is a cursed diamond making your death headline-worthy. Well, that's why we think we don't invest in diamonds. Number 7. Cursed Mirror of Myrtle's Plantation. You might not want to check your reflection in this mirror unless you're cool with sharing it with a few ghosts. Found in St. Francisville, Louisiana, Myrtle's Plantation is notorious for its paranormal activity, but this particular mirror might take the haunted cake. Legend has it that Sarah Woodruff and her 2 daughters were trapped in the glass after a tragic poisoning. Why? Because someone forgot to follow the old custom of covering mirrors after death. Their spirits are said to remain in the uncovered glass, and visitors frequently report seeing ghostly figures or the faint handprints of children on the surface. Some say it's just folklore. But even skeptics might think twice before posing for a selfie with this sinister heirloom. Let's face it, a haunted mirror is not the type of reflective surface anyone wants in their home. It's just too creepy. Number 6. The Golden Eagle. This is the second cursed car on our list, and honestly, Stephen King's Christine has nothing on the Golden Eagle. This 1964 Dodge is a death trap if you believe the stories. Originally a police car, it reportedly brought its first 3 drivers to gruesome ends via murder-suicides. As if that wasn't unsettling enough, local church members once vandalized the car and, according to legend, met horrific fates soon after. Then there's the teenager who touched it on a dare, only to murder his entire family and torch their house. Yikes. Its current owner, Wendy Allen, insists it's just a misunderstood classic, but you'd be hard-pressed to find a buyer. Whether it's cursed or not, we don't want to take a ride on this beauty. It only takes you on the way to hell or maybe to heaven depending on your deeds. Number 5. The Dybbuk Box. The inspiration for the 2012 film The Possession, the Dybbuk Box lives up to its eerie name because it supposedly houses a dybbuk, a malicious, restless spirit that loves to possess the living. Fun, right? The box, originally owned by a Holocaust survivor, became infamous after subsequent owners reported creepy phenomena. Think nightmares, inexplicable smells of jasmine or cat urine wafting out of the wine cabinet, and electrical appliances going haywire. One unlucky owner even claimed it burned out all his light bulbs and made his hair fall out. Imagine trying to sell that on eBay. Despite its cursed reputation, it's changed hands multiple times because, apparently, some people just can't resist a cursed wine box. If you're tempted, remember, the only thing worse than a vengeful spirit is losing your hair while dealing with one. Number 4. Belcourt Castle Chairs. Belcourt Castle in Rhode Island, a former summer cottage, comes with some truly unwelcoming furniture. The ballroom features haunted chairs that seem to hate the company. Visitors report an icy chill creeping down their spines when near them, and some even claim they've been pushed off the chairs by an unseen force. Ghosts with boundary issues, perhaps? If you're thinking, maybe I'll just lightly touch one, don't. These chairs are not fans of polite curiosity. Over the years, countless stories have emerged of people getting shoved or jolted away as if the chairs themselves are throwing tantrums. Maybe they're just tired of being sat on, or maybe they enjoy their paranormal power trip. Either way, if you visit Belcourt Castle, admire the chairs from a safe distance, preferably one where you can't get ghost shoved. All right, guys, now, let's talk about Number 3. The Woman from Lemb Statue. This limestone statue, first crafted around 3500 BC, has earned the charming nickname, the Goddess of Death. Discovered in 1878, it quickly gained notoriety because everyone who dared to own it, well, died. First, Lord Elfont bought the statue, and within 6 years, all 7 members of his family were dead. Next, it was passed to Ivor Minucci, who suffered a similar fate. Then Lord Thompson Noel tried his luck. Same grim result. Finally, Sir Alan Beaverbrook took possession, and guess what? His wife and 2 daughters died, prompting his sons to flee and leave him alone with the creepy artifact. Clearly, the moral of this story is, don't buy ancient statues with ominous nicknames. Sir Alan eventually donated the statue to a museum, where it now resides. Visitors beware. Admiring from a distance is probably fine, but touching it? Let's just say it's not worth the risk. As once a wise-only man said, if you love your life, your wife, your dog, and maybe your girlfriend stay away from creepy things, it's best to watch Netflix. Number 2. Basano vase. Another cursed relic to avoid like the plague is the Basano vase, a silver creation from 15th century Italy. Legend has it that it was made as a wedding gift, but before the bride could walk down the aisle, she was murdered. clutching the vase. Over the centuries, it was passed through families, and every new owner seemed to meet a quick and grisly end. By the time the 20th century rolled around, the Basano family had had enough and buried the vase along with a warning note. Naturally, someone dug it up in 1988 because humanity loves bad decisions. After multiple owners met early graves, the police were begged to take the vase. Today, its whereabouts remain unknown, though rumors claim it's buried in a lead coffin. It's like a cursed treasure hunt, except with a potential death sentence. Maybe leave this one buried, folks. Number 1. The Destiny Ring. Rudolph Valentino, the silent film heartthrob, captivated audiences in the 1920s. But his career and life was cut tragically short at just 31 years old. Why? Some blame the Destiny Ring. Valentino purchased the jewel despite warnings that it carried a curse, and his luck quickly nosedived. His last movies flopped, and he was wearing the ring on his deathbed. After his passing, the ring made its way to his lover, Pola Negri, who fell mysteriously ill. Subsequent owners of the ring didn't fare much better, with many meeting bizarre and untimely ends. Today, the ring is safely locked away in a bank vault where it can't harm anyone else, or so we hope. If you're ever tempted by a cursed ring, just remember, shiny jewelry is nice, but living to enjoy it is even better. We really hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more such content like this. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon in the next one. And guys, please, if you ever come across these objects, don't ever touch them.